Welcome everybody. Wednesday night, it is another stream. Of course, here in Australia, we are flying across the ditch and we have more contestants from the Kiwi version of Lego Masters New Zealand. People, welcome Jake and Glenn. Welcome, boys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. We know you're everyone talks about Australia being ahead of the world for time, but the real truth is that you guys are actually ahead of us. So, 9 o'clock over there. I do appreciate you staying up a bit later and hanging out and having a bit of a chat. So, we feel special that, you get to spend past your bedtime to chat about Lego.
And also giving us the time too on your whirlwind journey. We imagine you're pretty busy right now with the popularity of it over there.
Oh,
yes.
so,
It's been pretty hectic up to this point.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. You got to think too. People have got to realize that obviously here in Australia it's season 4. Some people are over it. Some people still enjoy it. But you guys being the number one season so far, fresh in New Zealand, and there'd be a lot of people watching it because you've obviously on TVNZ. So it's got to be ripe and fresh.
Yeah.
Hearing about heaps of people watching it, I haven't been stopped in the street yet, but getting text messages from people I haven't heard of for years and years, and
brings everyone out of the woodwork.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going through. It's like, someone will add you to Facebook. I haven't talked to you in 10 years. Yeah, bro, I've seen your TV, man. It was sick,
Yeah.
Imagine if you guys are lucky enough to take out the big win and then see who comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if Henry comes in tonight. We'll ask him the question, see how many extra friends he made after winning.
Yeah.
But I assume it would be, it's like most reality TV shows. Yeah, I knew you were gonna win, man. All them years I've been your best man. I knew you were gonna win. He's like, man, I've talked to you since school.
Yeah.
G'day, Andy, and a shout out to obviously the fellow Kiwis. How before we start diving into your builds and how it was like, what going all the way back to when you were filming and stuff. Was it what you expected? How was it, getting in there, living out of hotels or, day-to-day filming and stuff?
Yeah, I to be honest, going into it, I wasn't sure what to expect. It was a lot more intense than I was expecting, I think.
It's funny. You say someone else said that, I think it was Adam and Amy. They said, it was full on when you realize how it was going to be this and start, stop, finish, move, cameras, that kind of stuff. And you got to realize you guys only had 6 teams and 9 episodes. Australia now, they're at 13 episodes and, 8 teams. Look at the US. I don't know what their episodes number at, and they've got 12 teams. It's like, far out, man. That's
pretty lucky,
yeah. In some ways, 9-episode season, it's like, I guess the viewers might be like, oh, it's over too soon. But for us, it was, I'd say it's probably about the right amount of time.
It was exhausting. It really was.
Just the waiting around.
There you go. Oh, here we go. Here comes all the Kiwis now. Whippy, what's up? G'day, Dan. Thank you very much for the raid. So a lot of people are going to come in now and have a chat. For all those that are just joining the raid right now as well, the 2 gentlemen that we have below us is Jake and Glenn. They were on the New Zealand Lego Masters. They are still on the New Zealand Lego Masters.
Yeah,
so you'll see people coming through having a chat. G'day, Dezel. For those that aren't in New Zealand, last night's was episode number 8. Episode number 9 is the finale, which will air in New Zealand next Monday night. So, fingers crossed for you guys. And as most of you guys know, Dan, part of our Lego Twitch community. Dan and Jono also made it to the finals. There he is. How are you, Dan?
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
There we go, Brick Girl, Jake and Glenn, big fan. There you go. We got all the fans. Keep the numbers up, man. We need all the Kiwi fans. So it's it's good. Going back to how we're talking about the amount of numbers per episodes and per teams, you could also look at the glass half full where you only had 6 teams, and out of all of New Zealand, you were legitimately the best 12. Ones that are interested to get on the actual show through the auditions, through all the grind. So, you got to take the win before you even start the show.
Yeah, we were pretty rapt to get on from the start.
Yeah. Can I take you back to the audition? What did you guys build? What was the brief in the audition? What did you build?
You can explain this one, Jake.
So the brief we were given was to build the story of how we met, Glenn and I, and also Georgie and Andrew were in the same audition. Yep. And 1 hour. And given a tub of bricks, and it didn't have to be a true story. We could just make it up, and so we tipped out this. The bricks went looking through the bricks, and the start selection was not that flash. There were a lot of 2x4 bricks, and not a lot of other stuff. And I started thinking, well, if we've got all these big bricks, it makes me think of like big kind of monumental landmark type things. And so we started saying, I said, all right, well, maybe we could have met at a famous landmark. And we just started throwing ideas around. And then I said, I think you said Nelson's Column, didn't you?
Yeah.
Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
And that immediately sparked something off in me because I lived in England and went to Trafalgar Square many times, and the last time I was there on a family holiday was there all these human statues, and all the tourists were like watching them, and putting money down. And I thought, oh well, let's go with that, because we had to go so fast. Like it was 1 hour, like boom, come up with an idea and build it straight away.
Wow.
And so we ran with that.
So So you built. Was it like you built the statues and like one person walking between them or something, or you just built Trafalgar Square and statues?
So we did the column and a water fountain out the front, and then we had ourselves as minifigs. So Jake was being like a human statue, and I was the only one paying him any attention.
So Glenn got all the money, eh?
Yeah. It was all right. I have to say, it probably wasn't our best build. Hey,
but it obviously worked.
Yeah, it did work. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of fun. We were working together well, I think, and it was tricky because you don't really know what they're looking for either.
True.
Yeah.
It's like, Glenn, you're in there, you're like, we need to go to build for an hour. We know we can build, but, do you want to be the villain and I'll be the nice guy? Or you can be like a full diva bitch and Andy, what's your main guy's lug in New Zealand? He's part of a crew or a lug over there?
Yeah, we're part of Well Lug, which is based in Wellington, and there's a branch in Palmerston North and Hawke's Bay.
Isn't Well Lug having a show shortly, aren't they?
Yes, this coming weekend.
There you go. You guys, I'm assuming you guys are going to be there. You're displaying there?
I'm exhibiting for the 2 days. Yep.
I'll be there on the Saturday. I'm just coming down to visit. I'm not displaying.
There you go, Jake. Just get Glenn to hold the camera and everyone get photos with you. All right, let's do a spin and we'll go through a couple of your guys' builds because, Glenn, obviously we've chatted a few times here and there on Facebook. So, going in from you guys and Dan as well, I'm a little bit biased. So, I really did enjoy your guys' builds. Although I've got to put it out there that I haven't watched episode 8 last night's build yet. So we'll get up to there and we might be able to talk about it. We're going to skip episode 1, the island one. We talked massively about the island one already. For people that are watching, to give this one a quick rundown, the episode was called Cricket or Crickets. And they all got a cricket team country and they had to design something around that country. They all got chosen and then it had to explode literally with a cricket ball. And you guys, I don't know, by fluke or by luck or however it worked, you clearly knew London, liked London, England, and then you turn up with this. How good's that?
Yeah, we got lucky with England. And one of the things we really wanted to do with this build was include the cricket ball smash into the story. So we got the beefeater there trying to dive out and save it.
Yeah. And now hopefully I've timed the clip well. We'll see if we can get it to play. Let's I love the corgi too. That mini corgi, mate.
Yeah.
As tiny as small as it was so good. So obviously the boys are just chatting about, the design, and then I don't want to put the audio on. So for those that don't know, I put the audio on the other day and got bloody copyright striked in Russia. So we'll just play the video part of it for now, just so I can show you guys the smash. There we go. Man, how excited are you to? Come on, get to the slow motion. We're talking to the girls doing the Indian tree the last year. How good does that look?
Yeah.
Straight into his head. Mate, that's just like a perfect headshot. And then through,
it's close and well done. Really well.
Yeah. So good. And you couldn't, other than we were talking to Adam and Amy, they hit the kangaroo in the balls. Other than that, a headshot in that build, mate. You couldn't have begged for it to be better, which was and I guess it's probably quite obvious question. Building for England, you guys kind of nailed it. The flag, the officer, the corgi. What more could have you built to be maybe a throne or the jewels maybe?
Yeah. Well, thinking about what could we add, because we had a little bit of time at the end, and and there would only be little things, because of the scale that we'd chosen. Anything that was at scale with our soldier would have been quite small.
Yes.
And you didn't see it, but they're actually little cucumber sandwiches and cream and jam scones inside. But they didn't really show up very well.
Yeah, I was really hoping it would be like the Aussie show where they did the hero shots with the explosions on the minifigures in season 2, and they got things spinning up towards the camera. And we might see like a slow motion cucumber sandwich or something coming at the camera, but it just wasn't how it was set up.
No, it looks more like coloured popcorn.
Yeah. Well, actually, I just saw then when you played it again, there was a good burst of blue when it hit his head, because he had blue blood in him and torso, but his torso didn't come apart. So and then the teapot does have, you'll see in the bottom had brown for tea. But we thought that it might just be a bit too dull if it was all brown, so decided to go multicolour.
So we tried to have like 3 stages of colour, but it didn't quite work out as well as we hoped. But it still looked pretty cool.
Hold on, Andy. What happened to Bills? What do you mean, Andy? Bills is. Don't know what you're talking about. Nicole, the slow-mo hero shot with the minifigs were good. Oh, yeah, for the edge there. And you know what it is, too? It's happened every time that they've had, especially in the Australian explosion stuff, just by fluke, there's always been a minifigure or an animal that just had that perfect fall that you can't pay for that shot. It's just by perfect chance. Maybe instead of filling it with cucumber sandwiches, you should have filled it with like little dogs or goats or sheep or something.
I think a lot of people were really happy that the corgi survived.
Yeah.
Now I don't have they didn't have a high enough frame rate cam for New Zealand. There you go. So that's obviously why they never got the super slow. Yeah, actually, now that I remember, when they did our slow mo, they used the camera called the Phantom camera. It was like this big monster thing that could only shoot 10 or 12 seconds, and that was like a terabyte in 10 seconds of space. So, hey, like they say, the Kiwi show was the poor cousin of Australia. So, hey, they weren't my words. They weren't my words. Nicole, there was one with the flying shark that was perfect. Yeah, there's been a few.
That's right.
Pardon me. Phantom Flex. There we go. At 20,000 frames. Yeah, something like that. Oh, Bilza looks tidy. A haircut. Oh. That's what happened to you. Fair. See, mate, people notice. People notice, brother.
No, I just out of the shower. That's all.
Smooth.
Straight out of the shower and onto the stream. So.
Now, I don't have the official list in front of me, but this is obviously your version of the cut in half builds.
Yep.
And you obviously got the drum set, the drum kit, the snare drum, as you can see there. fill us in. Give us the story. Why this guy? Why the what come to that to design him?
It's a cool character.
That's what Jack.
Drum says music, so immediately, and it was on that angle, so that was quite good for something kind of like bursting outwards and forwards. Always good to have a kind of like an action shot, And so we thought, all right, music, and then we got onto the idea of a one person band, and I sketched that out with a human being doing it, and then I thought, all right, well, let's just hold for a minute because we built the human being for the last challenge. We could go cartoonish. Let's list a whole bunch of animals. Go anthropomorphic, and then octopus. It was so. I was like, of course, it should be the octopus. He can
obviously.
I can operate more instruments. It'll be more fun. So we said once we'd said that, we thought, well, it's an obvious trope, but we'll do it. We'll make it really good. We'll bring in the movement, and we'll just do it really well. And then a little bit into the build, we had the idea of, well, it's like a cup tipping, and the octopus is coming through from another dimension. It's a portal from another world, and he's bringing the water with him. And yeah, that
was the good. I like that, the good touch, and obviously the movement was good. I noticed that through the episode as well, Robin was picking on a lot of people, not using the base plates correctly, or just sticking to this, or building half. Did he, and I can't remember if he did on camera or even off camera, did he ever have a word to you guys not using these ones here around the side of the drum?
Sorry,
no, I don't think you were talking about those.
No,
those aren't. No, we put those on. They aren't.
Okay.
On. No, we had to bring up the level a little bit to hide the battery box somewhere, and also give us something to attach the bits of drum skin to. So we made a big belt and put it around stacks of bricks which were coming up from the base plate, which was glued flat across the top of the drum there.
There you go. That makes sense now, because looking at that, it's kind of almost. I mean, they're that uniform. It does look like that. They've put them there for you guys to build off of. So that's why I kind of made
that was just to hide some of our secrets.
And how good is that? Oh, here we go. I think I do have. I'm just hoping there's movement. I've got the. I'm just bringing up the video of it now. I just want to show people the movement of it. Like, you guys, some of the movement that you guys come through was insane as well. Like, how much did you crash course yourselves from what you didn't know before going in? Did you, force yourself to learn extra things while each episode was building? Or you kind of went to, you knew.
I certainly did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to begin with, we did things that we knew, and then we just got we got bolder as the series went on, with trying some things which were a bit new, like the elevator in the first episode. I mean, I've done elevators before, but I have never done one without string, one that used tank tread instead of string. So, so that was the same but different. Like the octopus's head, I had built a figure that had a turning head before. So it was relatively similar, but the guitar, I hadn't done anything like that before.
I've actually got. Hopefully I'll be able to click through. I'm just waiting for the right time. I think I found a video with a bit of movement, so you can see the head and the guitar. Hopefully I've got it in the right spot. Just straight after these girls show the octopus. It looks like it's right there. I mean, it's showing me a preview that it is. Come on. There we go. There's the hand movement. There it is. Yeah. What a cool hand. Like, and even obviously the harmonica with the head moving. Going back to, like I said, you guys obviously are insanely good builders. Obviously before even getting into this point, we all know you're a good builder. But did you ever feel that it gets to the point, I mentioned this to the winners of the Australian one, the whole one trick pony. Did you feel that, okay, we know we've done that. We don't want to rinse and repeat. Do we need to push harder? Did that come up often?
We always felt like we were being pushed to do different or more or bigger every build.
Yeah.
I guess within ourselves, we didn't want to build the same thing again, kind of thing.
No, of course. But I mean, it's almost shooting yourself in the foot too, hey, because you go hard for the first episode and then you've set your own standard. Episode 2 comes along and they're like, what's this? Mate, look what you built in episode 1. You can't drop your standard now. You got to go that twice as high, twice as big before you know it, half a DeLorean, Now, I guess this was a bit of relief, and it's always a relief to everyone we chat to, the bridge episodes, build it for height and weight. Were you guys expecting in the back of your mind, there's got to be something similar, we're waiting for it type of thing?
Yeah, I didn't pick that one because we'd already had the cricket ball one, and I thought, well, they'll just do one destruction type challenge. But it was definitely a cool one to do.
Well, luckily, I've teed your guys breaking bridge right at hopefully the right time. I know because you lasted a few more weights. What was the story behind your bridge? The two looks.
So in the brief, Robin said, perhaps your bridge commemorates something, and our initial idea was a superhero battle. But then I remembered how he mentioned the commemoration. I thought, well, maybe the battle's already happened. Maybe the bridge has been destroyed once before, and this is the memorial bridge. So and so there's not people running and screaming, like, oh no, the monsters are coming to destroy us. No, they're having a nice day. They're just statues, Yeah. Well, it was a nice day until someone put a giant bloody weight bungee off it, and so that was the idea. So you'll notice, I think I put like a seagull on one of, on one of the statues and like a door in the back of them. You probably didn't notice that, but just to sell it that they weren't actually monsters having a big fight. They're just statues.
How's the flex already sitting just at this point as well? It's like,
yes, it didn't go entirely according to plan. One of the joins in the truss just popped off. I should have reinforced it more. And once that happened, once those Technic pins slipped away, half the bridge lost all of its strength.
Isn't it funny like that though? It's always the way where it's like, man, I'm watching this now. Oh, why didn't I put a Technic, a lift arm in that angle, and why didn't I tie it with that pin? I'm like, god damn. Oh, there it goes. See you later.
You didn't know about the bungee weight when you were constructing the bridge, so you didn't know to make, I guess a flex point or a strong point in the middle of the bridge. So very hard, but I thought the bungee weight was very good homage to the bungee in New Zealand and how well you guys, own that over there.
After that challenge, we got given a bag of the bricks that we broke with that bridge.
Yeah, there were a lot. Basically, all the plates through the middle, just off center on the side where that truss came apart. But it just they all just snapped straight through there. All the plates, and then some lift arms as well. Some of the vertical lift arms between the top truss and the main span.
Yeah, there you go, Dan. Dan said they got told in the brief about the bungee.
Okay.
But it's funny that you said that they gave you souvenirs, so to speak. I wanted souvenirs from our explosion challenge because I know there's burnt pieces, snapped pieces, broke pieces, all that kind of stuff. So some come home with me, but it's still season 4 people were still saying that there was still dynamite residue and colors on the bricks in the brick pit 3 or 4 years later. So I wonder now for you guys, the next season and moving on, people are going to go to get a plate and they realize there's a split or there's a corner missing or
I think we had a few of those in the later episodes where someone can get a plate and all the studs are all mashed up.
Found one of those. We might have made one of those as well. I was hit the wrong side of a plate with a hammer. It's okay if you hit the studs, but not the pillars on the underside. So sorry about that, future seasons.
I love it. Now I'm just the hanging. I'm just again getting the hanging episode 5 now at the hanging. So we're powering through these episodes, which is really, really good. And like I said, each time you guys built, it was nothing short of just really, really good stuff. Like, we talk to most people, and me included, you always have that one, we almost left today type build, you know what I mean? But you guys were kind of good and consistent. I just can't find your build, because I know you built the green
Broccoli Man,
the broccoli guy, but
that's right.
I can find a 1 second shot of it, but I can't find where they'll talk. Here we go, the hero shot, so to speak. All right, let me just tee it up, because this is actually really, really cool. I wonder how many people are going to hit you guys up when you start doing the expos and the shows and stuff that oh, where's your broccoli man, or where's your bridge, or they're going to expect the there he is. It's so bloody cool. So cool. And now I've gone to the other ones. But yeah, that broccoli man, that like I said, didn't give me much to go on for builds, but the whole broccoli man, the style that again, without kissing your ass too much, nailed that one for sure. That was good. But then again, why broccoli man? Where did that, again, where'd that come from? And again, Dezel, top 2 almost every episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had discussed the hanging challenge. We thought it might come up, and I had an earlier idea of like a super robot who's like saved like a falling school bus. School bus has fallen off a bridge, and he's scooped them up and is carrying them to safety, right? And because it's all about giant character, you've got to do a giant character if you want to win. This is the formula, right? And then we realized that it would be really hard to get a character flying horizontal to be stable. He's just going to tip up or tip down. And so I thought of Superman saving Lois Lane in the Richard Donner film, flying down the side of the film and going for the rescue, the big save. And I thought that would be a much more stable and good composition, because there's no problem. Everything's vertical. You don't have to try and balance it, and it's full of drama. He's trying to save this helpless creature.
You've gone from school kids in a bus to a cat in a plant.
It's my cat too. She should do something like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
and also I'd done super robots the last episode, so it couldn't be a super robot again. And then I started thinking, all right, well, Ultra Dude is going to save the little dog. I think that was the original thing. And it's like, it can't just be Ultra Dude. Like, it's got to be like less generic. Like, where does he get his superpowers from? And that got me thinking of Popeye, because as a kid, Popeye totally worked on me. I was so into cream spinach, so I could be strong like Popeye, and so we started going through vegetables, and and for some reason we settled on broccoli.
I mean, it's actually like, even when you look at his body, it's take the broccoli man out of it. You could obviously, rinse and repeat that in any color. It's a good in proportion build. It's very, I love it. And then the cat, the cat's cool. I do like the cat.
Yeah,
the cat.
So I'm really into superhero comics. So, and I've drawn. I used to like sketch them and copy them and do my own and things.
Yeah,
and sort of studied human proportions as well, and also superheroes in the comic books. They're not actual real human proportions. Their heads are smaller relative to their bodies to make them look more heroic. So I had a reasonable understanding of that. And what we just did a scale drawing. So I sketched it out, and then we worked out mathematically how many bricks and studs there would have to be. And we spent a lot of time smoothing them off, because they wear skin tight lycra, right? So if it was covered in studs sticking out, then I just didn't think it would look any good. So we spent a lot of time smoothing them off.
But hey, and obviously paid off, and done well.
It didn't, because the one that won had studs sticking out all over it. So
yeah. I
anyway,
mean, on top of that as well, we had the girls in the other night. They had the strangling tied up weird looking dancing mermaid going, you know. So it was it
was a funny edit on that one where Dan was in the brick pit, and I went in and had a chat from him for probably 15 minutes talking through what he wanted to build. And in the edit, they had me go in and say to him basically, well, I built a cat. And then the next shot, you see me walking back out of the brick pit. Like, that's all I said to him.
With a little pearl of wisdom there from Glenn. If I can build a cat, you can build anything, Dan.
Why not? All right. Oh, we're at half an hour, but we'll get through the next two quick builds fairly quick. Obviously, the monochrome level, it's a hard challenge for anyone, no matter what you're building when you're going for monochrome. Especially when, you know, certain colors don't have certain parts that you rely on as well. That's kind of the stinger for that one. And, you know, the girls up on Monday night, they built that yellow weird sun hand thing. And, you know, straight up, what was it? You know, and we'll talk to Dan and Jono next week about their monstrous white awesome piece. But you guys as well, you know, you had... Now, does this design have an official name?
Yeah, what do we call it?
It's called Holding It Together.
Holding it together. There you go. I'd be careful, man. Nathan, is it Nathan Sawyer? Yeah, Nathan Sawyer. He'll be, you know, well, that's not a bad design. I might use that in my next sculpture. You know, it's well done. Like, you know, you nailed it, obviously, in the colors and stuff like that. And 100%, you know, it was a good challenge all round. You know, they need to play this job through a little better. That's just everyone. You need to learn how to play reality TV, mate. That's just how that works. You know?
No, it was all about the builds for us. We weren't gonna like.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Jake. I actually meant that was one thing that I did want to pick. That's not as good. Almost every country, they don't show enough building. They don't show enough. How'd you get to that point? How'd you get that technique? And, you know, not just NZ. It happens in Australia. Happens worse in the States. You know, the what do we call it? What's old mate's name again? The host, Bilzer? Will Arnett. The Will Arnett show.
The Will Arnett show. That's right.
It's more about him than the Lego in the building, which is kind of disappointing. But, you know.
But it happens on all reality shows too. Like if it's a renovating show, they skip half the renovation and tell all the backstory, and the cooking show they go on about the ingredients and then bang, here we are tasting it. It's like, what happened to the rest? So
g'day, crazy Kiwi. How are you, man?
We were hoping for better shots of the final builds too, because they kind of didn't show too many close-up shots.
Yeah, it's went really quick.
I'll see if I can find. I have a Dropbox link, Glenn. That's funny as I think it was for episode. It was a cricket episode. They're like, here's our. I don't know if you guys get the same Dropbox link, but it's like, here's all the shots from episode 2, the cricket episode. You can use these as press shots. The whole folder is legitimately Di in different angles holding a cricket bat. There's no builds. There's no explosions. It's just literally like 100 photos of Di in different angles.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love it. Episode 7. Now, this is the one that actually I enjoyed and really, really liked it. You build a tabletop game. I'll play the clip. One of you guys explain the game and pretty much how it is.
Shall I go, Glenn?
Yeah, you can do this one too.
Yeah. So the concept was save the world, and it's just like a couple of dozen different ideas in there, and it was just the board game was just such a gimme to put them all into one build. You know, I mean, like I said before, I love superheroes, I love board games, so that was working with the idea of a giant character emerging from a pit. You know, it was already the idea of a chest opening robot was something I was mucking around with, and so it was like, right. But it took a while for it to crystallize exactly. Like I was looking, because we had time to prepare for this one, I was looking around board games that I remembered, and then I went from ones I remembered to ones I didn't know, you know what YouTube's like. And I remember this game from the 90s called Forbidden Bridge. You remember Forbidden Bridge forbidden. There was this ad with like this cartoon idol in the jungle, and it shouts forbidden, and he stamps his arms.
I think you're on your own there.
And you had to get up. You had to get up and steal his jewels, right? And climb up and cross the bridge that shaked and threw you off. So I wanted this idea of like obstacles, lots of obstacles to get through, and and suddenly it just all just came together. And Glenn came up with a great idea with the force fields. Like I was originally thinking maybe the rocks are coming up and down. He's like, no, it should be force fields. I'm like, yes, it should be force fields.
That looks cool. The yellow.
Yeah. Glenn also had the idea of the hidden level as well, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely nailed that one. So bloody cool.
With knowing what the challenge was going to be before, it actually made it a lot harder. Because
really?
we had a lot more time to think about it.
Yeah, you can overthink things too.
Get on an idea.
Yeah.
Question in the chat: were you boys nervous filming?
No. It was a bit awkward at first with the cameras in your face, but after a while, it just didn't even realise they're there.
It becomes natural, and now you build at home. Where's all the bloody cameras? You know. All right, I think we'll leave it there at that one. Now I haven't watched episode 8, so we won't show episode 8. Obviously, for those at home, it did play last night before last night.
Yeah.
For all the Kiwis in the chat and watching us at the moment, the big final is next Monday night. Yeah. So get into there, enjoy that. You know, obviously support your team. The boys are in it. Dan and Jono's in it. The girls, it's going to be good. Obviously, grand finales, you know, even if they're not so good when you're filming, you know, the editing is going to be fantastic. So looking forward to see who comes out and, winning that and taking out the first Lego Masters New Zealand.
Yeah, good luck to you both. But we do have to go for our boy Dan. So sorry there, but good luck anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And Dan just reminded us anyway, you guys weren't even in episode 8.
Well, we were for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So we don't even need to talk about episode 8. So I ended it perfectly by fluke. We'll leave it at that. Everybody in the chat at the moment, I'm trying to find someone to raid our channels in before say our goodbyes. I'm just trying to see if anybody is building Lego.
Scroll up a bit. Scroll up a bit. Andy dropped a few names before.
Did he?
Yorgi is gaming and Crazy is doing Lego.
Yeah, I'd rather send it to someone doing Lego. Yorgi's the only one on. Crazy's gone. I've got there's actually a Kiwi I've got here that paints shoes. He's quite popular.
Oh, very cool.
Let's just do that anyway. Guys, thank you for hold on. Dan just said the resupply. Let's see that one's on there.
Oh,
that's the name. The resupply. We've got to share the love. Yeah, here we go. Just chatting. All right, Dan. I'll do that. If he's live, let's hopefully he's live. People, see you later. Glenn and Jake, thank you very much.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for staying up. It has been great chatting with you.
Oh, hold on. Someone just told me they're offline. Of course they're offline. Always the way. Nothing ever goes smooth on this stream. What's it? Broccoli, Brick Girl. Hey, Brick Girl. Dan, I think your buddy's offline, man.
Yeah, because it's later.
We got to share the supply and the love somewhere. Someone's got to be online. Oh, it just ended as we went to go in. All right, you're going to go watch shoes get painted. I'm showing the love to the shoe guy. He shares his love back to us, so it's all good. You don't like it, you can bounce out. He can have all the trolls and the mods and all the bots. So we'll go and do that. As for everybody else, see you later.